Everybody, welcome to Square Body Country. We're going to be doing some work on the cab this weekend. I'm going to try to get as much as we can get done on the firewall area as we can. Then after that, we'll have to just do the kick panel, the inner kick panel part of it. Then we'll be ready to pull the floor pan out because I can't do nothing with the back of the cab while the old floor pan is in, because I need to straighten that stuff up before I go try putting patch panels in, and that old part of the cab floor is right squared in my way. So we're going to work on the front of the cab and see what all we can get done this weekend. What we're going to work on now is the front part of the cab, where it's rusted out under the AC box. This part right here. And what we're going to do is I've came through and I've done a lot of straightening in here of this stuff. Even though we're going to cut this out, it's still important to make sure that everything is still nice and good and straight. That way, when you cut that out, you're going to have a good lines to line everything back up, and when it's done, it will be done correctly, straight, all that stuff. So I came through and I've straightened all of these out. I've straightened this lip out through here. I've relined these back up here. So, except when the patch, if you leave it all kind of distorted and messed up, and when you go back together with it, you're going to put it back together distorted and messed up, and once you weld that new metal in there, it's there. So you want to make sure that you still, regardless, get everything nice and good and smooth and straight all the way down through here. So when your new panel goes in and you go to put it up to the floorboard when you're ready, it's all going to line back up where it's supposed to be. But it's all nice and straight through here. We got everything straightened and relined back up through here. So now we're going to start getting this cut out. That way we can get sized up for a patch panel. Okay, we've got this little corner here restructured, put back together. It was just kind of tore from the whole kind of violence of taking busting the seams apart. I've come back in here on the back side and I've cut part of the floor pan out from here to here to kind of give me room to get back in here and work. We got this part restructured here. It's nice and smooth, straight down. So now we can come in with our patch panel from right along this ridge line right down through here. And we're going to cut and we're going to go right around here to maintain this. And we're going to miss this. This is a factory dimple that is in the firewall. I'm not 100% sure why that dimple is there, but it is a factory dimple that's in there. So we're going to patch in around that. We might, I don't know, we might cover this hole up. If we do, we know where to locate it, and we'll just drill a new fresh hole there. But we'll come from here up, we'll come under this dimple, and then we'll just come at an angle up through here to get up past this stuff and to still maintain our opening. And we'll use that solid part there as structure to make sure that we stay good and flat. We'll just come up here and we'll just make a triangle. Patch that in. Okay, you can see that that's in. It's nice. We do have a little bit of warpage, deformation, whatever. Basically, the issue we got down here, it looks like it looks worse on here than it really is the floorboard is cut, like right at the very edge of that hole. So I can't get behind there to straighten that out. Got most all this straightened out. It's really smooth. We got our corner back here restructured all the way into here. So there's that part. You can see just a little bit here, but again, the floorboard is like right here, so it's real difficult to get anything back in here to be able to work that around. We did manage to retain this factory divot. Like I said, I'm not sure what it's for, but there it is. It's still there. So the next thing we got to do is get this little part right through here done. It's going to be a little more challenging than this, but once we get the floorboards and everything out, we'll be able to come in here, because this is really, really low. It's high right here and really low right here because of the spot weld and the chisel going through there. So like I said, the floorboard is nipped off and I can't get anything back there to be able to work that down. But once we get the floorboards dropped out, we'll come through here, we'll straighten all this up, because we do got some more straightening to do behind some of these. But there it is. Okay, now we're going to work on this other spot. We're going to tackle getting this spot right here. I've been shaping, and that's proven out to be kind of a pain. I actually got this little piece. It's already had the bend in it. Actually got it out of the section of the old floor pan that I cut out, but got it to sit right there. So I think I pretty well got it trimmed down to where I need. Might have to trim it down just a ever so slightly more, not much, but that's what we're going to be working on now. Didn't realize my phone died, so there's a little bit of stuff didn't get to see. And I kind of planished and pecked on this stuff here, got it all nice and smooth on my line. You can kind of see right there, actually, pretty good in the video. See that it's kind of dark right there. It's kind of dark right there, so my line's not 100% because it transitions from a broad lip to a narrow one. So my transition there is just ever so off. You can't see it by looking at it, but you can see it right there. So anyway, that's what we've got. There's all the patch panels, all the rusted out spot here and here have been replaced. A bit of dirt on it, but anyway, there we go. Now we just got 2 more little spots right up top here to go, right there and right here. We get those spots done, then the front of the cab will be 100% other than 4-panel. Okay, thank you everybody. Please like and follow for more. We're going to start working on these little spots up here. My phone died, so there was a bunch of finish work stuff that didn't get recorded on putting this other patch piece in the bottom here. Since obviously it's another day, we're waiting on the shop to warm up a little bit. And so I've been just kind of sanding and stripping on the cowl section here, waiting on the shop to warm up. I think we're warm enough now to put patch panels in. I personally don't like putting patch panels in when it's really cold. I've had not really fun experiences doing that. So, but with that being said, you can see we've been kind of stripping and cleaning up on the cowl panel piece. This spot here looks a little funny because there's like, see surface rust under there. So I've had the little volcano wheel on that, but I've been kind of stripping and cleaning on it. We're gonna work on this piece and this piece, which after I was stripping on them, they turned out to be bigger than I wanted to. This hole here, I'm not sure how we're going to tackle that, if we're just going to chase it with the welder or I'm going to try to cut a really small piece, put in there. But that's what we're going to start working on now. We've got a little piece cut out. We're trying to form it in there as best we can. It's only going to form so good because the way the rust is bubbling out, but if we can get the good general shape of it, get it really damn close. Whenever we go to put this in, we can always massage that in to go ahead and form back up against that panel, because we've got a pretty good lip right there where the rust is pushing out. So we're just got a little piece I cut out of the cab corner, the old cab corner. You can see it's still in nice shape. So we're just going to make us a little piece. It's going to go up in here right past all the rusty stuff. We're going to go up, come across, and we're going to come right back down by this pinch weld right here. So we'll have to drill out 2 pinch welds is all we're going to have to drill out to get this piece to come off. So anyway, fun times. Just got to get her lined up. Get her lines lined up kind of where we want it there. And just start slowly shaping it to what's there. Don't have to go whaling on it. We're just kind of reshaping it. We want it to move around. We're not trying to shrink it or stretch it. We're just trying to get it to move around where we want it to go, so we don't have to whale on it like crazy. Just kind of got to get it to persuade it to go where you want it. can hear the tone differences. Like this spot here, that's already where we want it. That's not so much yet. Just a touch. You can see how the shape of it's coming in really nicely. Where it goes is just a touch overbent on the top side. So what we're going to do is, I've got my little flat plate that I made, I'm using for a dolly. Just going to kind of set it on here and just massage it ever so much. Be amazed how much that little bit makes it move. See, it's already almost touching on the top. You see just a little bit of that dark spot right there. You say, well, you can always massage it with your thumbs, but you got to be careful doing it like this, because it doesn't feel like it's going. The next thing you know, it's went too damn far. Like that, we've got our patch panel fitted. So, a little bit up top right here. That's the gist of what we want. So now we're gonna proceed to go ahead and cut this piece out, because we were using this because it's not horrible and there's a little bit of structure back there. It's just rusted through on the skin. So we were using that to get our shape. The only bad part is where it's bubbled out right there. It bubbles out right there. You can see that. That is where the rust is bubbled out. But that is one of the things we will get back in where it's supposed to be when we get this cut out. There's that piece. You can see a little mark right here, and actually what that is I didn't have that corner 100% lined up when I tacked it, so that is just a super faint low spot. You can see a little bit of where I was shaping this with the hammer, so you see the little dimple marks where I shaped it with the hammer. But other than that, that is really nice, and that is super smooth right there. I do not like using body filler. I get it, it's a necessity, but I am not a fan of it. So I try when I do stuff like this to make it to where I don't need body filler or need. Let me retract that. You're always going to need body filler to a certain amount. I try to minimize that amount as much as possible. So. But anyway, there's this piece. I do still have to put my 2 holes in here to mimic my spot welds. Squeeze those together and attach this lip here to the firewall. But I am going to wait and do that because I'm waiting on some like a sealer rust stuff, and I wanted that left out right there, so when I put the stuff in along this seam on the inside, it will come down through here. And then once I do that, I will squeeze that together and I will drill my little holes and everything and put my spot welds there. So no, that is not attached on the bottom, but I do not want that attached right now. There's that right there. And I probably will come back in and probably zap a couple little tacks or something in there so I can smooth that out and pretty that up a little bit more. But there's that one. Now we're going to be off onto this one next. Same scenario as this side, except we're just going to be doing it over here. And we'll still have, looks like 2 spot welds to take out here and here. We're going to go up somewhere in here. It's got a little bubbly right there, so my concern is I might have a little bit of rust scale right behind that. When I take these 2 spot welds out, I'm just going to cut this about halfway, come across, come over, kind of like I did this one here, to the edge of the spot weld. If there's too much rust, then I will go over further to the edge of that spot weld. I don't know if that's just rust or that's just where that seam sealer just didn't get squeezed down all the way with the factory pinch welds on. But there we go. Off onto that piece next. And just for reference, here is the piece that we cut out. It's all nasty and rusted through. You can see that's where it was, and that's what we got now. I made 2 marks here. I use this, so that's where my factory spot welds are supposed to be. So I know when I go back with this, when I weld these up, what I'll probably do is take my burr bit, my round burr bit on my die grinder, and just kind of touch into that a little bit to kind of give it a resemblance of the factory spot weld. Look less like a repair. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of the way I like to do it. So, you know, I like people to look at it and just not ever really know unless you know. We've got this thing really close to being formed up. Fortunately, where I cut this out of the cap corner, it lines up perfectly with the 2 existing spot welds. So that's going to work out actually pretty smooth. I like it, but we are really close on our forming of this thing. About there. It's a little difficult to get it to form where I need it to right here because of all this swell up stuff from the rust. But it's see where it's got the curve, the contour, everything it needs to sit right in there. And the factory spot welds line up. So I guess our next course of action is going to be to So we're going to start cut here. Cut this out. If this is too gnarly, we're going to extend the cut over to that line. That's where we go from here. We'll get this side done and prettied up, and that should be hopefully all the rust repair on the front of the cab, other than the piece in the footwell, kick panel. But it's not going to stop us from putting the floor section in. This isn't either, but just something to do when we get ready for everything else. Okay, there we are. We got both sides of this repaired. If you remember, it's pretty gnarly looking. Reached down here and grabbed the pieces. Okay. These are the pieces that we cut out. You can see they're pretty gross looking. In here, that's where they were. That's what we got. We got a little pinhole here we got to fix, and we got a little. I don't know. I'm gonna clean up on this a little bit. I can make it look a little better. But there we are. We're gonna call it a weekend on that. I do not have these welded up here. I have the marks here, but this piece here, like I said, I was fortunate enough to have the holes already in it from where I drilled it out of the cab corner. So those are not welded because the stuff I got coming is going to be like a rust converter sealer. I'm going to pour it back here in this lip, and I'm going to fill all that, get all that seal in really good, kill that rust, and then I will pull this in and weld those up. But there we are. One more thing to go. Or one more thing done, I should say. There's a ton more to go. Thank you, everybody. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share the video. Let others see what we got going on here. I greatly appreciate it. To everybody that is subscribed, thank you guys very much. You guys are awesome. I totally appreciate it. For everybody else, hey, if you're watching the video, take time to smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you can see every time when I upload. And I try to make sure I upload every week. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend.